Okay, great. Good morning, everybody. Let's actually start by calibrating. So once you get a chance to get set up to the right place, allow your feet to touch, and then bring your head top up to its highest position. Let your shoulders roll back and relax. And then check to see that your hips, your shoulders, and your head top are. So this is pushing up through the head top and relaxing the tailbone. And then lock the ankles, the knees, and the hips. When we say locked, it simply means there's no movement. It's as if, almost as if you're flexing them, but it's very subtle. Grip the ground with your feet. Connect the tongue to the upper palate. And then breathing on an inhale, as if just your hands are moving. The hands go to about shoulder level. The elbows are relaxed. The base of the palms connect first, then the fingertips. And then let the structure rest across the sternum. So if it's here, there's too much, just allow this to rest. And then go through in your mind like a checklist from the top. The head top is going up. The crown chakra feels as if energy is moving upwards from the center. Your brow is relaxed. The vision is open. Open your nostrils sideways to take in more air with regular breathing. Check to see that you have a half smile as the minimum. This is just activating the corners of the mouth. You can see it on a picture of the Mona Lisa or statue of Buddha. The tongue is connected to the upper palate. The jaw is relaxed, and you should feel like you can cultivate saliva. Shoulders are rolled back and relaxed, and we want to have the ears also lined up with the shoulders. So if we look sideways, ears lined up with the shoulders means pulling this up and back, but keeping the chin tucked. The chest is hollow. It means we don't have the chest pressed out forward in this way. It's simply relaxed. We use the center to support. Use your whole dantian as a structural entity that supports through here so that the tailbone can relax and the neck can be straight. The insides of the hips folding inwards. We said the ankles, knees, and hips are locked. Feel that your feet are expanding on the ground. When you grip your feet into the ground, whatever amount of pressure you use, feel that it changes the shape of your foot into a triangle. You can use the idea of a mountain. And then with the feet, when you feel them gripping into the ground, try to keep the same shape and allow them to relax. Is it possible? From here, take a deep breath, let everything relax. We're going to start with some breathing. So inhaling from the center, make the breathing match the movement, and we're starting with a stretch too, so reaching all the way up, extend to the limits, and then also out to the sides, reaching all the way out and back to the base. Breathing. Long, relaxed breathing, and exhaling. And so while we're doing this, you can use this idea for Qigong with anything that you like to practice. Before you go to do the thing, take a few minutes to charge up. Breathe a lot of air to inflate. And we can talk about a Tai Chi principle as well. Where do we look while we do Qigong? One of the Tai Chi rules for the hands and the eyes is that the eyes lead the hands, but the hands stay within the vision. So when you reach up, the hands and the eyes working together. When the hands go out to the side, you should still see them. If they go too far back, they're out of the vision. And then the same thing at the base. So breathing, if you keep working, we can use this idea when we practice Tai Chi, when we play the Tai Chi form. Go at your own pace. Let's do 3 more. So make it longer and more relaxed. On the last one, bring your feet back to the center. Allow your feet to touch. And then bring the hands just to about shoulder level. Allow the base of the palms to connect first, fingertips second. And then recalibrate, going back from the top. The head top is going upwards. The crown chakra has energy, and that energy is moving upwards. We talked earlier about a statue of the Buddha has the half smile, always pictured. The same thing, you may see Buddha depicted with a cone, sometimes a flame coming out of the top of the head. We want to have the energy level so high that we have this feeling of chi coming from the top of the head. And then going downwards like a scan, a calibration through the body, moving from the very top. We go down and we see the brow, and we want to have our brow relaxed. So take a second, wiggle your eyebrows and wiggle your ears. And then allow everything to relax. Open your vision. You should be able to see 180 degrees side to side. Open your nostrils sideways. See if you can relax your face where your sinuses are. So in Chinese medicine, the sinuses all the way up to the nose are considered part of the lungs. So the breathing starts in the lungs. If we have tightness in the chest, we can't breathe. The same thing if our face has tension in it. So see if you can open your nostrils sideways. Connect that to the half smile just underneath it. So the breathing and the relaxed facial expression are connected. Relax the corners of your jaw. A lot of times people carrying tension, clamping down on the jaw, allow that to relax. So with the head point at the highest, we have the chin is also tucked, because we can push up a little bit higher, but we want to keep the chin in the right place. Pull the ears back to the shoulders. Shoulders are rolled back and relaxed. The chest is hollow, so the energy can sink to the dantian. We're using the center to support. The tailbone is hiding. The inside of the energy is going to a center point with gravity through the legs. Grip your feet and feel palm. Feel like your feet are expanding. Take a deep breath. Relax. We're going to stretch a little bit, and then we're going to do some Tai Chi, and then we're going to analyze some Tai Chi movement. So let's actually start again with my warm-up with the stretch that I like to do, moving from top to bottom the same way that we calibrate. So we're going to start with the head and neck. Take your one hand, reach across, and then you can sort of grab your ear, and then keeping your neck straight, pull the elbows out to the side. That's right. And so try to keep your chin tucked. And if I line up with the camera, you want to keep your thumb, your nose, and this rear elbow in line. So like you're being stretched laterally. Breathe deep, push up through the back of the head top, let your tailbone relax, and then take a deep breath, come back to the center, and then try the other side. So grip, reach, breathing deep, and you may want to feel like you're reaching through your skin or like you're reaching into a glove, and you can reach the extents like you're stretching. Keep the tongue connected to the upper palate. We want to have the same long, relaxed breathing that we started with. And on an inhale, relax, come back to the center. We're going to do one more on each side. So on this one, you should feel like that you can extend through the fingertips. You may have some sensation in your forearms and your arms. This is good. This is the purpose of the stretching. So take one hand, reaching. Keep the neck straight, pushing up to the back of the neck, the back of the head top. Reaching out, pull that other elbow back, pull the shoulder back as well. We want to get everything in one line. Remember to breathe. And then on your own, come back to the center. And then on the other side, the same, reaching. Keep the neck straight. Pull the elbow away, pull the fingertips in the other direction. Come back to the center, take a deep breath. The next one, so moving, this is kind of turning the upper neck. The next one, we're going to turn this portion of the neck. So just making head circles. And I want you to be aware of where your shoulders are located. So feel your shoulders in place while you turn this. And then also, let gravity do the work. A human head weighs 10 to 20 pounds, depending on the person. So allow that weight to turn with gravity. If you haven't changed directions, change directions at some point. This is your stretch. So keep your shoulders in mind. Leave the shoulders behind. Leave them relaxed with gravity, and you're trying to turn and open the tendons in your neck. And then when you feel good, come back to the center. We're going to do some shoulder rolls, but the shoulder rolls that I like to practice, the movement is coming from the center. So I want you to feel as if you're using all of the skin from your dantian, where your navel is, all the way up to your shoulder, all the way out to your lats and your ribs here on the side, so that you're using your whole torso. So we want to keep the spine and the neck straight and turning. So I want you to feel your ribs, feel your collarbones, shoulder blades, and make the circle that your shoulder draws. If we said this is drawing a circle on the side, make that as large as you can. Pull all the way back, all the way to the bottom, all the way forward, all the way to the top. And then letting everything relax. So we have the same long breathing, the same relaxed energy pattern that we started with, so that you can make the circle slightly larger. When there's tension, you can't move as freely. Again, if you haven't changed directions, do a couple going the other direction, whichever way you weren't turning before. Keep the breathing in mind. And then change, we're going to do alternate one shoulder. And on this one, you can really pull up on one side and push the other side down. Keep your spine straight. You should feel it all the way up to your lower neck. Like you can take all the skin on your back and stretch it up with the shoulder, pull it back, and let it relax. Breathing. And then come back to the center. Next, we're going to turn around the center. So this is just turning around the waist. This is keeping the hips facing forward, and also the jaw. We talked about relaxing the jaw. That's also facing forward. So the only thing turning is my waist and my neck. And we're just going to turn around the center. So with this one, you want your arms to be completely relaxed, as if you're sending your hands on vacation. See if you can allow your arms to be so heavy because they're so relaxed that you can feel it pulls on your collarbone here. So the whole arm, starting from the base of the sternum, is turning around the center. Turning over one side. Still looking forward. The same long, relaxed breathing that we started with. And then next, when you come back to the center, this one is important to keep your neck straight. So keep your chin tucked, relax your tailbone to keep the same movement. Free the opposite foot. And then when you come back to the center, relax, take a deep breath. We're going to turn some hip circles. So take a second to stretch in the corners where you feel. Try to keep your back and your neck straight. Change directions if you haven't already. And then when you come back to the center, take a second to relax. When I say keep the back and the neck straight, I want to make an important note. Some of you have heard me talk about this before. When we say straight, it's a conceptual idea. The spine, nothing in the human body is straight. The spine has some natural curves. So when we say straight, it means aligned in this way. There's always going to be curves, and I'm going to use the wall. We can see if you press against the wall here, we have this thing back here, which is the lumbar arch. And then also up here, we have the cervical arch. So those two arches are going to be natural. We want to leave those. And by straightening the back, that's simply having the crown chakra going upwards and having the root chakra sinking with gravity. So just like in Tai Chi theory, the more pronounced, the greater the contrast between black and white, the better the Tai Chi. So the same thing, the more we have the power going up and the more that we can relax the tailbone, the better our posture will be. Let's continue. We're going to do some legs. So we've been moving. We did head, we did some turning around the waist. So next, we're going to do hips, knees, and ankles. So I'm turned a little bit sideways. You can face in any direction. I want you to put one foot forward and then push your tailbone away. Use the standing leg for support if you need to, and then reaching forward. And then the same thing, try to straighten your back and neck. You can look forward towards your fingertips. Try to turn your toes upwards towards your nose. And remember to breathe, the same long, relaxed breathing that we started with. And then come back up to the center, put that foot on the ground. We're going to grip that standing foot, put the other foot out, push your tailbone back and away. You can use this leg for support if you need to. As the tailbone is pushed away, straighten your back and neck, looking forward, reaching forward, toes to the nose, the best that you can do, and don't forget to breathe. When you're ready, grip the ground, stand up. We're going to do the other side. We're going to do both sides again. So the same, grip, extend, push the tailbone back, looking forward, reach over the toes, toes to the nose, breathing deep. The more you can relax, the more you can stretch. And then come back to the center, standing on the other foot, grip the ground, push the tailbone back and away. Looking forward, reaching forward, make your back straight, keep the neck straight. There's natural curves, but we keep them in line. Toes to the nose, breathing deep. When you're done, come back to the center. Take a deep breath. For this last one, we're just going to turn around the ankle. So make one foot very solid, and then just turning a small circle with your heel. And so imagine as you turn the same, if we do this one and we turn the ankle this way, but this is an even lazier one. You can allow your full leg to relax. And so you can open that ankle joint by relaxing. Change, grip the ground with the other foot, make a nice stable base, and just turning the ankle. Go as fast or as slow as you like. Remember to breathe. Then come back to the center. Before we continue, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to practice some X-stepping, which is the fundamental step for this Tai Chi form, and we're going to practice balancing in a posture called Jinji Duli, which is golden rooster standing on one leg. Then we're going to do the Tai Chi form. We're going to do all three sections, and then we're going to review some things either from the first or second section, depending on if you like. Before we continue, questions, thoughts, comments about anything thus far? Okay, cool. If you do have questions, feel free just to unmute yourself and ask. There's no problems. We're going to do some X-stepping. So find a place that is your center. And from your center, again, we're going to line everything up, gripping the ground on every step. So when we step, activate your whole foot, relax your tailbone, balance, grip your foot, relax the tailbone, stepping forward, grip, sinking, floating, center, stepping forward to the left, step, grip the ground, tailbone is hiding, everything else is floating, grip, stepping back to the corner, grip the ground, like a magnetic lock to the earth, grip, stepping back. The more you can relax, the more that magnetic lock can activate. So for balance, let's talk about three things: the top, the middle, and the bottom. And these are things that will apply to your Tai Chi. So when we step, if we fix the top, that means the neck is straight. It's easier to balance something that's very straight than it is. So the straighter the spine is, the easier it is to balance. If you just standing in one place, if you grip your foot and you try to make your spine very straight by relaxing the tailbone, you'll find it's easier to go up and down than if you do this. So fixing the head top. Also, where you look is where you go. This is challenging because we're watching in a video. This format is not the optimal for learning Tai Chi, because in this exercise, looking at something that's moving is detrimental to your balance. Maybe it's a way to improve our balance, but when you practice balance, if you look at something very stable, if you see the wall, if you're watching me and I'm wobbling, or you see something that's moving, or you try to watch a moving something, it's challenging to balance. So the top is the neck and the vision. The middle is using the center and letting the tailbone relax. So if we can let the tailbone sink, we can almost sit on the standing leg and have power to do whatever it is that we like to do without disrupting our lock to the ground. So that's the middle. Use the center, relax the tailbone. And at the base, grip the feet. Also, the way that our feet are pointed, if we have the feet lined up parallel, if the feet pointing out to the side, this is something different. So we want to practice alignment. So fix the top, the middle, and the bottom. Let's practice the same thing again with those ideas in mind. If you need to look at something stable, there's a door frame, there's a wall, there's something there that's stable instead of watching me if you find your balance is disrupted. So from the center, grip your standing foot, step back, immediately establish balance, grip the ground, relax the tailbone, focus on something stable and straighten the neck. Breathing deep, control the step, grip. Stepping forward, don't just fall into the step instead. Control, grip, relax the tailbone, looking at something stable, breathing deep, return to the center. Grip. Establish the connection immediately. Center. Rear right, grip the ground. Center. It's better the second time. Easier when you have some ideas to think about, right? Before we continue, questions, thoughts, comments. We're going to do the Tai Chi form, all three sections. I know that it's sometimes difficult to follow, so if you have any difficulty following, we're always going to come back to a few postures, usually starting with roll back, press, look left, glance right, that type of thing. So just hang in there, focus on the breathing, the structure, the footwork, and when you can find a place to join back in, do that. In the meantime, we start with Tai Chi Harmony. So I'm going to face in the other direction. I'll start facing this way. The same calibration, energy is going up. The face is relaxed, the tongue is in the right place, the chin is tucked, shoulders are rolled back and relaxed, the chest is hollow, the center is supporting, tailbone is hiding, feet gripping into the ground. From here, we're going to open shoulder width wide. And sinking the tailbone, power goes all the way out to the fingertips to about shoulder level. And then settling. And then allow the energy to expand as you settle. From here, this is Tai Chi, Chi Chi, the start of Tai Chi. We have grasped the sparrow's tail. So on the right side, stepping forward, ward off. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Stepping forward. This is ward off. Roll back. If you know how to turn your feet accurately, do that. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Split. Hook. Square step forward. This is single whip. Turning to the north. Align your feet. Relax your tailbone breathing. This is lift hands to up posture. Turning 90 degrees. This is crane, opening the wings. Play the harp, brush, press to the center. Square step backwards. This is a crane, opening the wings. Number 2. Turn. Press. Holding the moon in the chest. Shift back. Step forward. Punch. Ban Lan Shui. Move. Parry. Punch. This is Ru Feng Sibi. As if an enclosure. Return tiger to mountain. We're continuing to the second section. Bring the right foot to the left foot. The left foot forms a T or more of an angle. Step to the square, palm press directly to the center. Breathing deep, return to roll back. Turn your feet, if you know how, make them accurate. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Split. We're facing east. This is hook. Turn back to look at the moon. Take as many steps as you need, turning 180. The right hand crosses over, the left hand comes to the center. Spirit is very good. This is repulse the monkey. Step back. Press to the center. Repulse the monkey, number 2. Scoop. Geometric step back. Press to the center. With your breathing, scoop. Inhale and exhale power. Opening to the side. This is Sherpe. Diagonal flying. Haibizang, needle at the bottom of the seat. Santongbei is fan through back. Block, punch, kick. Step accurately. Lan is open. Shui is punch. Keep your head top upright. This is Di Bu Hua. Fold knees. Shan Bu Li. This is change step, roll back. Press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split hands. Hook. This is sideway. This is cloud hands in the second section. Press to the right. Turning, press and step to the left. Press right. Number 2, step and press left. Press right. Turning, step and press for number 3. The owl show is almost the same. It's hook. Corner rib. Turning 90 degrees. This is pat the high horse. So reach over the top. And pat the high horse, number 2, stepping back, turning to the south. We're going to turn to the east. This is scoop, brush, press to the center, brush knee, C-step, press, breathing. This is Jinbu Zai Shui, straight step, punch, turning 180, block, punch, kick, Lan, Shui. This is called left deflect. Sometimes people call it bend the bar. Kick. Big roll back. Embrace the tiger. Big roll back. Activate your feet. Embrace the tiger. Left foot steps behind the right. This is scoop the moon from the ocean. Kick. Brush. 2 wings going into the ears. Stepping back. Pull with the left side. Kick with the left side. We're going to take 3 steps. 1, 2, facing the same direction, standing on the left foot, grip the ground, breathing, pull right side, kick right side, turning back to the west, block, punch, kick, grip the ground, long, breathing deep, sway, rueful, press, press, turning to the north. This is return tiger to mountain. Bring the right foot to the left. The left foot forms a T. Stepping to the square, palm press directly to the center. Breathing deep, roll back. Turn your feet. The upper body is round and relaxed. Press. Long breathing. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split hands. Hook. This is a side whip, and this is wild horse parting its mane. The right side comes up and out of the center, expanding forward. Number 2, the left side sinks and then floats. The right side sinking and rising. Take a deep breath to roll back. Join the palms, press. Long breathing. Push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Turn to the north. This is split. Hook. Corner whip. This is delicate lady weaving at the shovels. Press to the corner. Looking, turning. Press to the corner. Breathing deep, scoop, lift, press, turn, delicate lady weaving, 4th corner. Left grasp the sparrow's tail. Press down, left palm pressing forward as we step. Breathing deep. This is push. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split hands. Hook. This is corner whip. We're turning to the west. The first snake creeping down. And then when we return, come back to the center for Jinji Duli. And then on the other side, grip your right foot, the left side going up. Jinji Duli. Right into repulsive monkey. Scoop, step back, press. Breathing. Inhale to go backwards. Exhale to go forwards. Opening to the side, this is diagonal flying. Needle at the bottom of the C uses the left hand and the right foot in the 3rd section. Sen Tombe is the same. Block, punch, kick. It's the same. Breathing, long, shui. Keep your head top upright. Bi bu hua. Still facing forward, shang bu li. Press. Long breathing. You can use your breathing to regulate the qi. You feel warm, you feel like you're making qi. So by making your breathing longer, more relaxed, you can take in more energy. Hook. This is sideward. And this is cloud hands in the third section. Turn and press. Turn left, press and step. Number 2 of 2. Press. And then step and press. Hook. Corner of it. Continue turning, still facing forward. This is snake flashes its tongue. And then we turn 180 degrees. Pull right, kick right. All 3. Cross kick, step, brush. Punch low, half fold knees, change step, breathing deep to return to roll back. Press forward. Pushing, return the energy. Look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal split hands. Hook. Corner whip, we're almost there. Turning to the west. This is the second snake creeping down. And when we return this time, stepping up to 7 stars. We're going to turn 90 degrees to the north for Shuansen Bahui. Turning 180 for, this is Bailian, lotus kick. Open the bow to shoot an arrow. Block, punch, kick. Take a deep breath, long. Shui. Rufeng. Press, press. Turning 90 degrees to the north. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Block. Right, left. Bring the left side back to the right. Bring the hands together into the center. Take a deep breath. How do you feel? Yeah? Okay, good. Questions, thoughts, comments? Okay, so for anybody that's following along that is not sure about the longer part of the form, let's just review the sort of beginning of the first section, which has the main components that we repeat a number of times. This may be review for some of you advanced people, but it's always good to go back to the beginning. So one of the movements that repeats quite a bit is rollback. We see that ward off doesn't really occur outside of the first two postures. We have rascal sparrow's tail ward off, rascal sparrow's tail ward off. In the third section, after we do the fourth jade lady, when I do rascal sparrow's tail, that's simply to give you an idea in your mind. In the form, it's not named that. It's another left deflect, but we're pressing on the person's arm. It's a fancy rollback, so I use rascal sparrow's tail because we might want something similar. So ward off doesn't occur, but roll back, press, push, look left, glance right, double press, split, hook, and single whip occur in some variation. There's about 8 postures depending on how you break it down, and they occur in some variation 8 times throughout the form. So this is, if we had a song, it would be the chorus, something that sort of repeats a number of times. So let's actually look at that from, if we start from the center and we have shoulder width wide, and then we take that and we turn it on its side and we step shoulder width deep. Roll back, just very basic. Roll back is opening in the beginning and then closing. So you can imagine turning. We can get into Tai Chi ideas. One hand is yin and yang, one hand is up and down, one hand is facing forwards and backwards. But I want you to think about if something is coming towards you, or if there's a rope, you need to pull the rope. So we open first to get a good grip, and then we lead it to the corner, right? So this rollback movement, and the feet, you hear when we talk about rollback, changing the feet. To review, we're turning on 90 degrees. So if my foot is lined up towards the camera, I'm turning 90. And then the other foot, I also release and turn 90. All this is happening from the hip, so that my knee, my ankle, and my hip are always staying aligned no matter how I turn. This is how when we do something like embrace the tiger, if you watch how I transition to the other side from the rollback, I'm planted on this foot. I'm turning on my heels through my hip so that I can do this all day and very low without having any type of injury. Once that foot is established, I can actually turn my toe in and stretch, or I can turn my heel out and stretch, depending on how I like to do it. But now watch the transition the other way. Same, this foot's stable. My heel is using the power. So this is the transition. In the beginning, we can make that much more simple. Use the heel, turn, and then use the heel and turn. So lift the toe, turn, lift the toe, and turn. Lift, turn. The analogy that I like to tell people for this one is, how many here were bored in school and you have a pencil and you have paper and you don't really have much else to do? So how many here would take the pencil and do weird things, like see how it would bounce on the eraser, or like you ever try to stick the pencil onto the paper and then spin it, right? Get this kind of friction. So we're looking to get this type of feeling. Sometimes there's friction in the heel, like the eraser on the pencil. If we need there to be friction, there should be. If there's not, it should be very lightweight. So this turning, so this is rollback. So you can turn the feet accurately. The next one is press. So pressing is a power coming from the center. The feet don't need to be connected to the ground. So that's why on the second half of rollback, after we've done a rollback, the feet turning indicate that the feet in press can be moving, just like a punch. The feeling is like a punch. It's like a flying power that has a point, right? Like an arrow. We send, and that's what press is. We condense the power into a point in the center, strong in the center. Whether the top and the bottom are connected is not important. So that's press. We have rollback, press. The next one is push. This one is vital that the feet are connected to the ground. Imagine if you were floating and you tried to push something. You just push yourself away from it. So if we're rooted to the ground, that's why this movement, if we have this square, we're just shifting our center over the front foot and the rear foot. And then we have these extra springs on the top of the structure to help cushion the power come in and assist it to go out. So the same long breathing. Very simple. Look left and glance right. If I take a square step, this is very simply, if something is coming towards me and I can simply turn my upper body this way and move it. Imagine somebody walking through a crowd and they're carrying something. If you can just turn here and continue walking, then your job is done, right? So this is Zobu and Yokan. Just turning the upper body. Everything else is rooted. Looking left, glance right. We can get more into it later. What's the next one? Look left, glance right. Double press. Double press is very, in the most basic sense, is if you need to move something heavy, right? You give it two oomph, right? So if there's a refrigerator, imagine a refrigerator filled with your favorite food, and it's very heavy, you need to push it. You can actually push it first to rock it, and then push it again the second time to get the power. This is the Schwung arm, right? Double press. The next one, horizontal split hands. This, again, we're using that heel that we had talked about. If I face this direction and I'm turning, I turn on that heel 90 degrees. And then when I set that foot down, I can turn, right? So we're using the same pivot idea that we talked about in roll back. This form is all very geometric. Everything is turning on very aligned angles. Everything's either on 90 degrees, and occasionally we see things go to the 45. Highly geometric. So after we turn, what's the next one? Hook. And this is very simply, there's something in front of you, you like to move it out of the way, and then control it at the end. And you can also see there's a shape of the yin and yang. You can make that very long, right? So the yin yang is here, looks like a crane's beak, or you can make it very narrow, so the circle would be a much smaller circle, and you can start to add the spiraling power to it. Hook, right? Something is in front of you, you like to move it out of the way, but still hold on to it. Also, when we do things, we use all 5 fingers, right? There's a reason that we have 5, so they're using all 5 for hook. You may see some schools, they're leaving this out. You can do that, that's okay. But when you need to do a task, when you go to pick the thing up or use the tool, use all of your fingers. Hook, and then single whip. Turn the waist. The waist is where it's strong. If I just do this with my arm, it's not very powerful. But if I use my legs and I use my waist, as if imagine a very heavy curtain and you have to open it. And we don't want to open too much. So this is what we had talked about in the very beginning when we're breathing. And we say the hands stay within the vision and the vision follows the hands, right? This is the idea. When we do something, hook and whip, if I go to here, my gate is open in the front. So we only need to turn as if we're holding this circular shape, just like the original ward off. So when we have hook and whip, this is far enough. Otherwise, from here, it's too open. You can practice that way. If you like to do yoga, or you like to, you're in public, or you like to demonstrate for somebody, and you like to make the form very large and fanciful, you can find pictures of people practicing that way. That's okay, but you should know the correct structure. And then, just like any other type of art form, you play with it in the style that you like. Sometimes people like to play martial arts, so the frame is very small. Other times people like to play yoga. You can use the Tai Chi literally for both simultaneously. Let's review. So we have a rollback. And then using the center, we have a press. Push. Look left. Glance right. Press once. Press twice. This is a split. Hook. Turn the waist for power. Right? Those movements repeat all the time. So before we continue, questions, thoughts, comments? Does anyone have questions on things they have seen from the form, something they're working on from the form? Because otherwise we're going to talk about crane, opening the wings. Because this also applying. When we do brush knee C-step, we have one in the first section and we see it appear in the second section again. The same thing, if I'm facing my camera, right, we can make the Tai Chi a yin yang. One hand is up and one hand is down. One foot is gripping the ground and the other foot is waiting. And so here, I can't see my hand. It's too far back. We need to bring it closer to the temple, so that you can see. And then when you brush, this hand doesn't want to go way back here, because A, it opens this side, and the side is exposed if I need to close or cover there for some reason. Or if I am pushing something back, what if it slips and then it can return? Now my arm is out of the gate, right? So here, keeping this, when we say press to the center, if you see where I press, imagine your opponent is in front of you. You're pressing directly to the heart chakra. And then the same, when we brush knee on the other side, if this hand goes too far out of the vision, it's incorrect. So the hands and the vision working together, the hands are an extension of the vision. Brushing and press. Let's look at praying. So let's actually do the first section up to crane. We have just a few minutes left. So if we start, allow your feet to touch, bring the head top up, relax your tailbone, relax your shoulders, bring the hands together in the center. Relax the face, half smile, tongue is connected, center is supporting, tailbone is hiding. With your feet, we're going to open to the side, shoulder width wide or more, sink the tailbone, hands rising, floating. And then everything expands and settles. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Step forward, ward off. Use your heel, grip the ground. Step forward, breathing. Roll back, turning 90 degrees. And then join the hands to make that same circle. Press in the center. Breathing. Push. Shift back, look left. Glance right. Double press. Horizontal. Split. We have hook. Single whip. Turning to the north. This is lift hands. They're in the center of the base. Stepping square. And they're at the center of the top. When we turn 90 degrees, the left hand is bouncing. The right hand comes through. When they open, keep the hands within the vision. Play the heart. Press forward. Stepping back, the same. Be aware of your hands within the sphere of your vision. Opening. And now when you play the heart, it goes right to the center. And when you brush knee to press, see your both hands. Press into the center. Bring your right foot to your left. Take a deep breath. Questions, thoughts, comments? Let's repeat praying, and let's actually start from this. I'm going to face this way and turn towards the camera. We have this. It's like lift hands to up posture in the third section. So this is here, and the idea is power is coming to the side. So when it's lifted here, I'm avoiding something is coming. And so when it's coming, I go to avoid, and I want to be able to have my hand ready, right? And already we can see coming from this, we have a yin yang, tai chi with the hands. We're doing crane before crane. And then I'm stepping back to avoid, right? So power is coming, avoid. And this left hand and right hand go back to the center, and then they're just changing. We can open them, right? You can make this. There's many, many ways to do crane opening the wings, right? Yeah, right, good. So the same, let's actually go again. So from lift hands to up posture, when I'm turning towards my camera, grip the ground, turning 90 degrees, my left hand bounces, right hand going through the center, expand. So from here, we have a square step or a gongbu. Power is up. We're looking to the side. I'm blocking. And then I allow that left hand to continue to circle. Almost you can think of it like holding the chi ball here. And then when I step forward, the right hand comes to the inside. Crane. Let's do that again.
Hey,
So,
Brian, excuse me.
yes.
Could you do it starting with the raised hands facing forward for you?
Yes. This way or that way?
Towards your door.
Got it. Okay, so from here, when I'm turning, this is coming, I'm bringing my foot to the center, and then I'm stepping back. Almost like when we have repulsive monkey, we step backwards. So I'm stepping back. Crane, right? We can do some other footwork. So from here, turn. And then if I want to step forward, have this, right? So step, turn, empty step, 10% in the front, just enough. And then when we step forward, expand. By the way, TC did this posture differently. When TC taught this form, he taught the feet together. And we had discussions about this because he thought he didn't like opening the feet. He felt that it was not as martially viable as keeping them together. The reason I do it is because if we look at the trigrams, the bottom one is split. And so to indicate that, he would just raise one heel. So if we did something like that instead of stepping forward, when we have this posture, when we turn, when we do crane, you can keep the feet together this way. You can also, if you understand what the purpose is to open, or you want to cultivate the kind of balance, you can practice that way as well, right? It's the same. This is, again, a stylistic thing, right? When you see videos online, you'll see fewer people. And by the way, keeping the feet together and doing crane this way is a far more, it's like a swim style, it's more advanced. The other style is more, I would consider it older, more classical. You can see videos online. Questions, comments? I think we're actually a little bit past time. Yeah, let's close with a little bit of breathing, the same way that we started. So inhaling, breathe all the way up. And then exhale, relax. So use your whole body to breathe. Go at your own pace, expanding all the way, and exhaling all the way as well. Reach, expanding out to the sides, and put something in your mind. Imagine the kind of things that you like to do, the type of foods that you like to eat, the type of places that you like to go, the kind of people that you like to meet. Imagine the kind of cultivation that you'd like to have on the inside for your energy, for your qi, your jing, and your shen, for your health, for your energy, and for your spirit. We'll do two more. Long breathing. Go on your own pace. Let everything relax, stretch, and open. On the last one, bring your feet together in the center, allow them to touch. Straighten your neck, bring your hands together in the center. We're just going to do one thing today, put your mind into the dantian. You should feel your body auto-calibrate at that point. Make sure the tongue is connected to the roof of the mouth. Looking with your mind's eye internally at your dantian, take one deep breath, smiling to yourself. Internally, as loud or as quietly as you like, take a second to give thanks to yourself. You're here, you have a body, mind, energy capable of doing Tai Chi. So take a deep breath of gratitude. And that's it. Thank you. Look for the video online. If you have questions, I saw, Charlotte, just either email me or we can talk, text me, because I feel like we gotta respect the time. And the same with everybody else. If you have questions, feel free to email, call, text, or
whatever other ways you have to contact me. Yeah. Have a great day. Stay hydrated. It's still warm out there.